Whether you are going through a hard time right now, maybe feeling bored and just not doing well overall, or perhaps you are doing just fine. Either way, I have two words for you: solo travel. Traveling alone is one of the best ways to cope with stress and just the overall problems that have been inside you bottled up. According to some online sources, solo traveling can also be very fun and relaxing, as you won't have to worry about anyone else but yourself. Welcome back to Traveling Cloud, and in this video, we are going to be going over the top 10 tips for traveling solo. Let's get into it. Number 10. Do your research before you go. Make sure you do your homework before you get to your desired destination. By this meaning, make sure you are aware of the prices of all the services you will be using, like a taxi, train, bus, all sorts of public transport. Know how long it takes and how much it costs to get from the airport to your hotel or to the city center. This is important as solo travelers are more likely to be overcharged, especially if you are a foreigner to the location you are visiting. If you happen to arrive late at your destination, make sure to book a hotel with a 24-hour front desk so you don't end up sleeping in your car or worse. If you do, however, arrive at later hours due to some event you could not control, for example, your plane was running late, always stick to open and public places. This should be an important thing to note, as it is best to take precautions day or night. And finally, trust yourself. Bottom line, if it doesn't feel right, go with your gut and don't do it. Number 9. Pack light. Most people tend to overpack a lot when going on a trip, but when you are traveling alone, remember that you only need the stuff you need and will use. Don't be that person that must have on a different outfit for a different day. When doing that, will just dirty your clothes a lot faster. Eliminate room in your luggage and you won't even get that much out of it. Except style, of course. Just kidding. When packing for a trip, it is recommended to only take half of the clothes you think you will actually need, because trust me when I say you won't need as much as you think. Write down a list of essentials, cut it in half, then only pack that. It's that simple. The only item that is allowed to violate this rule is socks. Taking extra socks can never go wrong. Also, a recommendation is bringing with you a small backpack. This will allow for you to narrow down and pack only essential items, as well as it won't be a hassle carrying it around everywhere you go. Number 8. Travel insurance. Travel insurance is everything. It is the most important thing available to you that you never want to use. If something goes wrong, the last thing you want is to be out thousands of dollars. Your travel insurance will be there in situations like getting robbed, flight gets canceled, you get sick or injured, or anything else. It is reliable, and for just a few dollars a day, one of the best investments you will ever make for your travels. You may think you are some sort of superhuman, that nothing can harm them, but you'd be surprised how many people get injured just because they thought they would never need it. So don't be that guy who ends up having to pay thousands out of pocket, and from that point forward, the rest of the trip is just unenjoyable. Number 7. Eat local food. Whatever country you intend on visiting, you will very much regret it not eating the locals' food. If you miss out on the food, you miss out on the culture. So don't be scared to try new things, especially if the smell is calling you. Eating the local food can also open the doors to new favorite foods. Even if you have no idea what that certain food is, try it anyways. I guarantee you won't be regretting it or fall straight into anaphylactic shock. Eating local food also opens the door to meeting new people, which can be great when traveling alone. It gets you to be more sociable, and before you know it, it will be turning night and time for you to get back to your hotel. Number 6. Expect the worst. Now, I'm not saying something bad is bound to happen to you, but to just simply mentally prepare yourself for things to not go the way you wanted. Expecting everything to go perfectly on your trip is setting yourself up to fail. Almost no one goes traveling and comes back without any stories of mishaps. No matter how prepared you are, At some point, you're going to probably get lost, scammed, miss your bus, injured, and a lot of other unfortunate events. So come prepared and expect bad things to happen. And when they do not beat yourself up over it. If it doesn't matter in 5 years, then it won't matter a lot. So just try to enjoy yourself and just laugh at the things that happen to you. But always try to be positive, because with all of these things, there are still some good things that you might come across. Number 5. Visit the hotspots. By visiting the hotspots, I mean visiting the touristy stuff in the place you are visiting. The main tourist attractions are popular for a reason. Take some time at each place and really take in what it has to offer. It would also be a good idea to snap some pictures while you're there. Don't be a travel snob. Hit up the famous destinations as well as the less viewed stuff too. It can also be fun to visit the areas most people don't usually visit, but always remember it's always a good idea to visit that hotspot area for an experience you won't forget. Number 4. Buy souvenirs. A lot of travelers argue that it's about the experiences and not the possessions, but actually sometimes the possessions itself can offer beautiful reminders of the experiences you've had. It can be fun collecting souvenirs from every country you visit, and luggage should not be a problem if you do not overpack like a lot of people do. And it doesn't specifically have to be souvenirs. You can get creative, like bring a rock from every place, a leaf, a toy, really anything as long as the airport security allows it, of course. The point is, a souvenir can go a long way and can remind you of all the great memories you had. Number 3. Emailing important documents. It can come in very handy to scan a copy of your passport, any visas, and any debit or credit cards you're traveling with. Use a password to protect the documents, and email a copy of them to yourself. And it can help if you also send them to a family member. That way, if everything you own gets stolen or lost, you can access them safely from your email account. Take your copies to your embassy as proof that you are who you say you are. As a plus, you'll be able to buy flights home and pay for accommodation with your debit cards to keep traveling or go home in an emergency situation. Number 2. Google Translate Camera. The Google Translate camera is so incredibly helpful on your travels. Download the Google Translate app before you head off and use its camera feature for translating different things like menus, signs, posters, and anything else you need to read right away. How it works is you simply press the camera icon, aim your phone at the text you want to read, and in an instant, translates it all in real time just for you. In foreign places like Europe and Asia, this could be very helpful and extremely beneficial for communication with the locals. Before we get to number 1, make sure you leave a like on this video if you have enjoyed it and subscribe for more content just like this. And finally, number 1, travel out of season. The last thing you want to do is book an overpriced flight because you have to take into account plane tickets, hotel, public transport, food, among other things. So you want to save as much cash as possible. One of the best, if not the best weapons to combat this is traveling out of season. The travel industry lowers the price because no one will travel on a regular week. Do your research and find out what is the best time to visit your intended destination. The only downside of traveling during these times is the sun won't be as bright as in popular seasons like the summer, and it won't be as hot. But hey, I think it's very much worth it for a nice, affordable price tag. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you got some value out of it. Click on these videos for more content like this. This has been Traveling Cloud, and see you next time.